All right, let's go ahead and take a look at creating quiz questions within a Microsoft form. I'm going to go back to the form that we've been working on already in other videos, and there's two different ways that I can get a quiz question in. I had a question from the last video where I uploaded I created a new multiple choice question. So I'm going to go ahead and go into that question, and when I click on it, I'm able to edit it. And at this point in the ... menu down at the bottom right-hand corner of that questions section, if I click on it, I have the option here to change this to a quiz question. So I'm going to go ahead and toggle that on now. And what happens that's different is when I hover over the answer choices, you see I get the ability here to select the correct answer or answers. And in my case, since I still have multiple answers selected here, I could choose a couple of correct answers. So I might go ahead and toggle on this one, and maybe we say that 3 of them could be selected. I also have the option to go ahead and put in some feedback here when I have those questions. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'll put in the descriptions for the other questions. And you'll see now that I have the feedback included for each of these different answer options. Before I forget, let's make sure we put a point total for this. So I'm going to have 5 questions, each one of them worth 20 points. And so I put 20 there, and now I'm going to go ahead and add another question. So the other way that I can get this right from the start is by selecting the quiz option right here. And it's going to give me that same look and feel as a multiple choice question, but the answer choices are all able to have correct answers. So I'm going to go ahead and create my questions here. All right, so now I have 5 questions in here, each of them worth 20 points. And I can see the point total right over here to the side. So I know this is going to be worth 100 points total for this 5-question quiz. Now I have one response that was already in there from before. We're not going to worry about that one at this point. But I'm going to go ahead and do a preview real quick. And we can see again that we have the image from the last question. If you're not sure how to add that, be sure to watch the multiple choice video that's available right before this one. And I'm going to go ahead and answer these questions. And after I've entered in all my answers, I'll hit submit. And because I've got it set up this way, I can see instant feedback, and I know which ones I've missed based on the X and the red background. And it does show me which ones should have been selected as the right answers for each of these. I see my feedback here for great job. I see exactly all of the feedback that was put in there is provided for my students at that point. Now I'm going to go back to look at this from the teacher perspective. And I want to look at responses. And I have the option to open this in Excel, but for the actual responses and the grades, I want to be able to look right here. So I can see question by question what my respondents selected if I click on details here. And I can see each time that I've selected it, what was selected for that question. And then here I get a nice pie chart. And I get these details for each question as I go through. Obviously, I could use this to know that 50% of my respondents answered this correctly. Gives nice automatic feedback for whole class information. And then when I'm ready to look at the individual student information, I've got an option now that comes into play where this tab for individual is available. When I click on that now, I can toggle through all of my students right here, or I can use these left and right arrows to be able to select the next student available in the list. Again, I can go back through here and I can see exactly what that student answered. So I'm on my first response, and this is what I put in there for that first response. I can toggle over, and here also I see my grade. So I got a score of 0. I had 5 wrong on this one. And then if I toggle to the next time I answered it, I made a 60. So I got 3 of the answers correct, and I missed 2 of them. According to this right here, all that information is correct. And that's all it takes to create quiz question types and to get the automatically graded answers and the responses for your students. Hope this was helpful.